Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rafe Gal. Playing some Blaster Master. This is the ice level, World 6. It is an extremely awkward... I mean, it's ice physics. It's extremely awkward. It's in the nature. But you can see how much the wheels spin there. It's really tricky. This is also an area that, as I said last time, World 5 is where I usually, where a lot of my runs have stopped. That was rough. Okay. So, I am going to be winging it a little bit more here. I do not actually know the entire route for this level. And by that I mean I really don't know the route through this level very well. I'm going to kind of be playing it by ear, exploring. I know what the boss is, I believe. And I know what the power-up is, and I know roughly where we're going afterwards. Apparently, ice physics are for everything. Well, no. I'm not sure. Just momentum, I guess. Okay. I think this looks familiar, so I've either gotten lost here before, which I think is a joke I made before and is not actually a complete joke. That's ice. I almost slid right off the edge there. Okay. Sorry, get a little quiet there. This is some intense platforming. I really don't want to fall here, because I'm pretty sure that if you fall, you have to do like a large loop. I do believe this is the right way. Mostly, I don't remember actually going this way through it. But I remember that section once you get the power up. Let's go right again. And I'm almost positive this is it. Ooh. So yeah, this level kind of has some weird parallels. So kind of have a little bit of a cycle at this point, because we're gonna start getting we've got a couple repeat bosses, and gonna have some more backtracking after this level as well. And there's like this weird, I'm not sure if it's intentional or if it's just the way it works out, but after this we're going to be going back to World 2. And there's a lot of parallels as far as the enemies and the just general design of this level that remind me a lot of level 2. It has a lot of the worms, the bees. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And then the boss of this is the same boss as level, or is a version of the boss from level 2. It's an upgraded version. No! Okay. And actually, these little enemies are the same as well inside. Now that I'm looking at it. Not that we spend a lot of time inside the overhead sections for 2 or 6. Whoa. Okay, glad there was a power there. I'll repeat my earlier sentiment of this is either the right way or I've done it before incorrectly. Once again, last time we saw that guy was in level 2. Same thing with the eyes. Gunpowder. Those guys tend to drop gunpowder, so getting a couple is definitely a good thing. Not that we're gonna need it for the boss. In fact, we're probably not gonna be using the gun outside of the actual overhead levels for the rest of the game. We're gonna be doing the grenade glitch and praying. The last boss is another thing that I've gotten to multiple times and beaten once. Not sure if it's up or down here. Let's try down first. Guessed right, okay. So, you'll see a familiar boss here. And we're gonna do a familiar kill. Trying to get through these without the grenade is can be very, very rough. Okay, and we have cool new powers. So, we now have the ability to climb walls. Not ceilings, just walls. That was painful. I'm gonna guess this is a loop around area. Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to go down through that section of blocks. So this is back at the beginning. Oh, back to level 5, rather. So now we get to do some very... We get to do a bit of a continued wraparound here. Because now we get to go back to level 2. We are going to need full hover. We'll probably do that once we get back to level 1. The wall climb is a really neat ability, but it does run into problems sometimes. Just because sometimes you'll get to a spot where you want to jump, and if you're too close to the edge, you'll just wrap around instead. The ceiling aspect is, I can do the same thing, except for it can actually be a little worse. Okay. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I believe we should be able to... We may get hit a couple times on the way, but there should be hover along those walls. So now my goal is going to be to not accidentally hit jump while I'm already falling. And therefore not accidentally activate hover. Habit. Send him off into space. Okay. I didn't do it last time, but I am gonna go ahead and real quick, quote unquote real quick. So I've got 2 gunpowder right now, and that doesn't do you a ton of good. Just for the sake of it, there's only a couple levels left, and I would really like to go in with, you know, well, no pun intended, guns blazing. Saying no pun intended before you make the pun is generally not believable, is it? So yeah, this is a little pocket that normally, as I'm going through the game, I will go through. And the reason for that is because this guy can drop gunpowder. And there is also gunpowder in these blocks up here. So what that does is it gives you 1 or 2 gunpowder every time you go through this area. Right now we're in the middle section, which is the worst. It's got these little curvy shots, which are good for like that, and that's about it. Because right now it's like I think every second or third shot goes straight. And now we've got the kind of spray cannon, which is decent, but you need this one for it to be good, because otherwise it gets stopped by walls and it doesn't do you much good. This is the best weapon that you can get. Again, we're not going to use it per se. I will say it is very useful to have against the level 5 frog boss, or the crab boss. The times when I do, or if you can actually keep it. The problem is keeping it though, and if we get hit at all, we start losing gunpowder rapidly. So I'm I'm not super worried. You may also notice down there that guy is very similar to the guy in level 4. I don't know why that matters, but there's like a group of those enemies that are in level... that little robot soldier dude is only in level 1 and 4, which is kind of weird. Okay. There we go. Okay, level 2. Now that we've got these new powers, we're going to be able to go through pretty quick. And this time we're going to go down this way, I believe? No, that's level 3. I think it's even further down. Once again, this is an area I don't normally get to, so... may require a little bit more, that's fine. Require a little bit of exploration, which I can't say is a bad thing as far as advertising this game goes. The reason we want to make sure we have hover also is because I know you can need it for this section. So basically what we have here is a giant vertical shaft that you will totally run out of hover before reaching the top of. It doesn't take much hover, it's just being careful. I would rather have it than not for that. Oof. I think this should be, yep, 7. Okay. So for the sake of safety, I'm gonna do that. I'm not sure if we're actually gonna need it. This is where, again, difficulty kind of ramps a bit. 6 and 7. So the floor is lava. But more importantly, we get these upgraded enemies that take 2 shots. Now that may not seem like much, but considering how fast-paced the platforming in this game is, something taking 2 shots instead of 1 is a lot harder. Okay, so we're just kind of gonna keep moving. Once again, I don't really remember the route through this, so I'm kind of going off instinct / memory. I remember having to go through a bunch of these rooms. I don't know if there's a faster way or a better way. I really doubt it's that fast. Do a quick try at least. I will also say I really like level... I didn't mention it during level 6, but level 6 and 7 have a cool... Like, the whole game has a great soundtrack. 6 and 7 have really, really good, intense music. Okay, yeah. Pretty sure that's all we're gonna find here. being very protective of my gun power. Okay, let's see if we can dig a little deeper. There's two ways to go down in these sections. The way I'm doing it is a lot easier. Get to the areas that have a hole, basically, and let yourself fall. The other way is to use the wall climb to start going up and then face down, which I'll demonstrate here probably in a bit, maybe not. You can also use it to go across. But yeah, basically to just go like that. It's another way to go down. Really hoping the end of this long tunnel is productive. So that's a very long tunnel. This looks right. There may also just be another section that looks like this, but I very distinctly remember once again with the... You can't go back down once you've gone through that, so I'm guessing that might be an exit. So once again, once we get the ceiling climb, which is the next item, we're going to be having this weird wraparound effect occasionally, and those platforms are about the worst. Yeah, this is it. Another maze. The main reason I remember this section is actually because of not this version of Blaster Master, but the new one that came out on, let's see, I believe it was Switch and 3DS. Or not Switch, Wii U. Either way, there have been a couple sequels released recently, and one of them was basically a remake slash port. They added a lot more features to it, and honestly corrected some of the problems the game has. I love this game, but it's not perfect by any means. And they did stuff like made the gun power scale make more sense. Like you could unlock stuff and then switch between them based on how much gun power you had. And you got better sub-weapons, you got more items throughout. They basically made it into a true Metroidvania. Which, honestly, considering the fact that the Metroidvania genre didn't really exist in full when this came out, like, there wasn't Metroidvania games, there was Metroid, and that's about it. So, keeping that in mind, the fact that this game has as much exploration and open world movement as it does, I mean, I guess there are other games that kind of fit that genre that were around at this time, but none of them really did as good of a job as the modern Metroidvania games do. Symphony of the Night really codified that in Super Metroid. Whereas right now we have, you know, Rygar and, I'm trying to think of other open world platformers like that. Rygar is really the one that comes to mind. Which is a game I will probably never be doing on this because I don't know it well enough, and it is a maze of super hard platforming. Okay. So this is the frog boss again. He is much, much harder this time. Didn't get the pause right. So he uses the fire much, much more often. His mouth stays open for less time. When doing the rest of these, he jumps more, and I believe the flame tongue is an instant kill. This is that point where I remember that I'm still at 0 lives and haven't taken my continue, and didn't do a save state. There is actually a pattern to this. But it is, like... I remember at one point I printed out the pattern, what the pattern was. And we're back at the beginning. I will say one of the best things from the remake that I was mentioning a second ago is the fact that it has a map. I forgot about that. So we did lose all of our hover, all of our gun power, and all of our... basically everything. We're starting with the items that we got from beating bosses, and that's about it. By the way, that's what I was talking about with the face down. It doesn't come up nearly as often here because of the way that this is all set up. I have a rough idea of the route now, at least, compared to where I was before. I do need to find some cover that I can access before I get too far, because I have one spot I need it for. Yeah, that prog boss is probably the hardest, honestly the hardest boss. The crab is kind of a checkpoint, like I said. It's the mark where that's where the game really starts scaling up. Level 6's boss, even trying to do it normally, isn't nearly as bad as 5 and 7. This boss, though, is even trying to do the... I mean, as you saw, even trying to do the... trying to do the... Sorry. I'm falling. Great. So yeah, even trying to do the, you don't need much hover. Yeah, even trying to do the grenade trick is really tricky because of how fast he moves. And how random his patterns are compared to the other one. The other one you can get, you know he's going to do 3 hops and then do an attack and rotate through his 3 attacks. The fire version, just no. That's why you don't just spam the fire button in this game. Timing of attacks actually matters, and that's a great example of why. Hit by the stupid robots that shouldn't hurt you. See if I remember how to do this. I'm also going to save here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to bother with it. It may be a Japanese-only bug or something like that. I know that there's a bug you can use to basically use the invincibility frames to get across. I know in the water area, at least. I assumed it worked for this as well, and it may be that I just wasn't getting through that section fast enough. But if it does work, then that would be a huge shortcut. One use of this, once again, is hitting left center enemies. You have to be just at the right position. But if you are, you can just wreck them. And since they automatically move in certain ways, there's nothing they will do against you. once again, gun power really doesn't actually matter, except for this little section right here. Health does, though. I probably should stop getting that. I can't remember if there was a pink, like, flashing health at some point here. Might be able to just recover anyway. The Twitch corner bomb there is kind of similar to doing a flick with the boomerang in the original Legend of Zelda. It technically works, but it's really annoying and tricky to aim. By the way, this is why I was trying to do that loop there. If you can do that invincibility frames across the lava trick, getting from where I was to, or from the entrance to up here is just one, like, you're instantly there. Okay, and I am going to save state again here, just in case. Otherwise I'd have to, like, edit my video if I ended up going through this 3 times, and heaven forbid that happens. Okay. We're gonna make sure. I have done this game before without using the glitch. It's mostly, in this case, a matter of time and not dying repeatedly. So you can see there when I went off the side of that platform, I actually started looping around right away. That's the problem with this, is when you get to the edge of the platform, rather than jumping a lot of times like that, so I pushed jump as I got to the edge of the platform. You have to basically jump before you get to the edge of any platform from this point on in the game. You can't turn it off. And it can make it very challenging. On the other hand, there's a lot of sections you just don't have to jump. But you have to be able to recognize where those are and use it effectively. So those sections I was mentioning earlier with 3 little platforms, this is why that's annoying. Because any of those small platforms, you'll just end up on this very short loop, and they are very narrow. So it's very easy to accidentally go upside down and then flip off. So for these, what I was talking about is this. It's very easy to accidentally not do what I just did. Basically. Okay, apparently you can't do it there. think this is the way out. Because once again, it's a sealed area that you can go... You can't break through those blocks going down. And I think this is the first room. Yep. Okay. So we are moving on to the last level. To get to the last level, we have to obviously go back through 2. Three? Once again, you can see where it can be useful. But also where it could be a problem. Once again, building hover. Because I'd rather build it here than in World 8. I can't remember if you actually need it going into, or to get to World 8 either. Okay, that's probably good enough. So this is the section of level 3 that you can't get through without the ceiling climb. Wall climb isn't enough. And for the sake of preserving hover, I am going to continue. Okay. Which gets us to level 8. I'm gonna stop this video here, and we're gonna do level 8 on its own, because level 8 is a beast all unto itself. You can already tell here, the music changes completely. This goes from, you know, the awesome music that we've had the entire way through, except kind of level 4, which even at least has a good beat though, to this weird... Yeah. And the level is weird and hard and full of spikes and death, and I want to be able to have a whole video of me screaming at it. So, if you enjoyed this, give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions you might have in the comments. Once again, I highly recommend checking this game out if you've never played it before, either the NES version or one of the more recent versions that was released on, I'm pretty sure it's Wii U and 3DS. So yeah, with that, I'll say have a good one and catch you next time.